Imagine being deep in the blue ocean. You're swimming for a while, and then suddenly, out of the shadows, a huge shark emerges. Fear courses through you, but then your inner strength takes over. You decide to do something absolutely crazy. You roll up your sleeves, clench your fists, draw them back, and deliver a powerful punch to the shark's eye. The sea creature flails wildly and retreats into the ocean's depths. Now this sounds like a rather unlikely story, doesn't it? Well, what if I tell you that I've actually lived this adventure? Not in real life, but somewhere far more magical, within the pages of a book. Hey there, I'm Vedanshi Shah, an avid reader, change maker, and time traveler from the future. And I assure you that the next few minutes you spend with me will be nothing short of extraordinary. And on this platform of the PlayTalk stage, I am on a mission to spread the magic of reading through the world. So, being a time traveler, let me take you on a journey that is both mine and the world's. And let me take you to the time when I was about 4 years old. So, at that time, my parents made a big decision to shift from Maninagar to Naranpura. Well, as a 4-year-old, this came as a huge shock to me. And I just couldn't seem to be able to accept this change into my life. A few weeks later, as we moved into our new home, I got really lonely. Because first of all, I was missing my grandparents. They were my dadu and my dadi, and I cherished my most favorite memories with them. My heart shattered as I thought of my old friends. A few weeks after all this turmoil of my life, my parents decided to do something for me. They took me to Crossword, which was a nearby bookstore, and they allowed me to get whatever I wanted. So here I was walking through the aisles, and then I came upon this huge shelf of Theastitan books. I picked one of them up, yes, this exact book, and this became my very first book ever. I bought it, not knowing at that time of how a few hundred pages of a fantasy book could change my life. On the car ride back home, as I started flipping through it, I got lost in its world of fantasy. Because for the first time, I started smiling. Some magic started coming into my life. Now, the journey continued. And when I was in about senior KG, I had a fancy dress competition, wherein I dressed up as, guess what, a book. So this is me about 7 years ago, dressed up as a book. Hey, you can't blame me, okay? I look really cute. Okay, so now in about 6th grade, my teachers and my peers started calling me Google Baba, like this. And here at Playtos, I even began being known as Shakespeare because, hey, I like to use fancy words which nobody really understood. So, flashback to the COVID-19 pandemic when all of us were stuck in our homes with absolutely nothing to do. So at that time, I made a shift from just reading fantasy to also reading non-fiction because at that time, I realized that books were not just fantasies and imagination, they had life lessons as well. Due to my reading habit, I discovered that famous personalities like Sudha Murthy, Elon Musk and Nikola Tesla and I had something in common, which was our shared reading habit. Okay, coming back to present day, so far I've read almost 200 books across all genres. And anyone wanna take a guess on how many pages I can read in a day? More. Come on guys, you can do this. Okay, those are all great guesses. But I'm proud to say that I can read almost 500 pages in a single day. Now that we're on a reading voyage, let me steer the ship into slightly rougher waters. So, raise your hand and tell me if you have read a book in the past 10 to 15 days. Okay, great. Hands down, please. So now, I'm going to share 3 of my top 3 coolest tips that will help you get into your reading habit almost instantaneously. So, the first trick out of the hat is to choose the right reading material. Choose whatever that makes your heart do a happy J. Secondly, set some goals. Set goals like, I shall finish this chapter before the pizza arrives. Achievable and mouth-watering. And lastly and most importantly, enjoy the journey. Reading is the only journey where getting lost is actively encouraged. Whether you're reading for the sheer pleasure of it or for enlightening your brain cells, these tips will make your reading journey as fun as dancing in your pajamas. So now that you guys know my top 3 super secret tips, I have a simple ask of you guys. All I want to know is your favorite book. You can write it down on the chart paper that has been placed outside the PE hall. In this way, you're gonna know the favorite books of Yash sir, Janki ma'am, Chirag sir, us Playtonites, and each and every one of you here. Ultimately, we're all gonna be learning from one another. How cool is that? So, will you share your favorite book with me? Yes or no? Yes! Louder, please! Yes! Great. So, as I walk off stage, I wanted to share a favorite quote of mine from author Margaret Fuller. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Let's spread the magic of reading together because it is something that can light up the world.